What's going on, everybody? What's going on? And welcome to the realm of sound and direction. So, this is going to be volume 3 of today's, I wouldn't call it a session, but we just chilling here, vibing, chatting, you know what I mean? Doing our thing. But the moon is now in Earth, and the sun is officially in air. And remember, we do have a new moon on Mercury Day. And again, Mercury rules air. So this is going to be a dope new moon for intergalactic communications. Trust me when I tell you, it's going to be dope. But we're going to talk about some more sound today. Well, this night. And we're going to talk about something dope that I've been doing for quite a while, and now I'm able to speak on it. And it's jumping, utilizing public transportation. Yes, we're going to talk about some intergalactic stuff today, so definitely tune into this. But from my previous message, speaking on sound, and I was speaking on how sound is light and light is sound. And it's truly amazing how that really works, because you really need to be mindful of your sound. So check this out. When you do the internal work within self, remember, your body is an instrument. Every constellation or chakra or whatever you want to call it, it's a key. Remember, 808 is the manipulated constellations of the 88. And all 88 constellations are within yourself. And for those of you who play the piano, keyboard, or whatever you want to call it, 88 keys. And all of those sounds are within yourself. So when you heal yourself from an elemental level, fire, earth, air, water, spirit, you are now able to utilize those constellations and keys within self to create music. Every time you speak, you create. Be mindful of your vibrations, because your sound matters. And what I mean by that, by saying your sound matters, your sound alters reality. So when I'm saying your sound is light and your light is sound, you have the opportunity to change your reality with your voice just by speaking. So if you say, I can't do this, that's what's going to happen. You're not going to be able to do it. So when I was speaking in the last video about days of the week and the calendar system, all that stuff is why a lot of us are still in loops, because we aren't paying attention to what we say and how we say it. And again, going back to my science class, when I teach you the elemental directions with the compass, learning how to balance yourself on the physical and the mental, we start with those first. We start with the physical and the mental, because the emotional, the etheric, and the spiritual, this is where the 369 and the sound comes in, because you get to move in between moments of reality by using your sound. Being a musician and someone who's able to dance as well, it's like you understand and understand how this reality works, because it flows just like music. Literally, it flows just like music. So when you use specific words, instead of saying days of the week, you're now saying planetary cycle. That's a new song. Days of the week is an old song. Planetary cycle is a new song. And the more you stick with your new song and your new rhythm and your new sound, you change how you move in reality, and you change how you see reality, because you no longer are sticking with that limited belief system. You've outgrown that limited belief system to where you're now embodying, expanding, growing, and elevating to something new. You're no longer following the same old, same old. You're doing something different, and it's cool. So, speaking on jumping, I know I spoke about this before, but I was only speaking of positive and negative. I wasn't actually speaking of actually traveling. So, peep game. Remember, the feminine side, which is the right side of your brain, negative to positive. Now, the right side of the road, where you drive, negative to positive. Now, the left side of your brain, masculine, positive to negative. The left side of the road, positive to negative. So again, when you are on the road, right, you have negative to positive going forward. And on the left side of the road, you have positive to negative coming at you. So it's like this. And this is how energy flows within your system. When you have this side of your torus field, it's going boom and around, going forward. And then when you're on this side of your torus field, it's going boom and around, from fire to water. Just like the subconscious wheel, fire to water. From boom, fire, which is your face, to water, which is your feet. Right? So peep game. When you are utilizing public transportation, look at it as a motherboard. When you look at a city or anything of that nature, and you're looking from a bird's eye view, looking down, like go on Google Maps and look at your city looking down, you will see a motherboard. And public transportation is like the energy waves that follow a specific system. So like buses and trains, they have specific routes that they travel through over and over and over and over and over. It never changes. It never changes, because that specific route or bus or train has to follow this route all day to get you from point A to point B. So what I've been doing is this. When I see a bus that has 4 numbers, for example, this rising, I got on the bus that said 1904. What is that? 10 plus 4, 14. 1 plus 4, 5. I got on the bus of change, 5. So while I'm riding this bus, I'm riding through the 5th parallel of change. So when I get off of that bus in the negative positive, I am now in the realm of change. So anything that I need to change in my life, this is where you do it. This is where you do it. You get off on that specific parallel or realm and you work on things that you need to change. And I'm pretty sure people have questions. Well, what about if you're driving a car? Remember, right side of the road, negative to positive. Left side of the road, positive to negative. So when you're driving a car, you're responsible for where you're going and how you're moving versus being on public transportation, because public transportation follows a specific route. When you're driving, you're following your own route. There is no numbers. Everything just is. That's the difference. You create your own route, but you're still following the negative to positive and the positive to negative to get where you need. You're still flowing through your consciousness. You're still flowing through that. Only difference is you're not following a already set up system. You're following your own system to travel through this reality. See, I wouldn't say public transportation is limited, but public transportation has specific routes that they follow. You know what I mean? They have specific routes that they follow. But here's the catch. You have an opportunity to go to a specific realm of your choice to do what you need to before you jump on to the next one, if you choose to. If you want to stay in the realm of change, you can stay there. As long as you want. As long as you want, you can stay there. But if you want to jump and change, then you get on another bus. Maybe it says 1803, right? 1803. And what's 9 plus 3? 12. Now you're in the realm of support. 3. It's like you're taking the angel numbers and you're playing a game with the inner child. Now you're in the realm of support. So wherever you need support in your life, that's where you're going to be. And that's what you're going to be doing within this parallel and realm that you've created for yourself by getting off of that bus and the negative positive. Even when you come back, because you know the buses have to come back from positive to negative. You have a choice. You can get off on the negative positive on the feminine side, or you can get off on the positive negative on the masculine side. It's your choice. But you're still going to be in that reality and in that realm. And this is the cool thing about jumping using public transportation. Like, you really have to look at it like a computer system in order to truly understand the jumping. It's like your own personal internet. Only difference is you're aware of where you're traveling through the internet versus firewalls and pop-ups and blocks and all that kind of stuff. You're aware of where you're going. If you've seen Wreck-It Ralph, then you get what I'm saying. When he was traveling through all the video games, and it was like when he went to the main lobby, it was like its own. It looked like a mall, but it was a spot where all video games went to their arcades. You know what I'm saying? But it's the same thing here. We get on these buses to go to our specific arcade machines. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's really a game. Watch Wreck-It Ralph and then get back with me on this topic and see if it's like yo, he's on to something. Yes. I've been Like, the kids' movies tell everything. I'm telling you, these children movies be telling everything. But you have to use your imagination in order to bring that stuff to here so you can operate through all of this stuff. I'm telling you, man. And it's even more potent when you're utilizing the correct sound. When you're no longer limiting yourself with old, outdated sound and programming that you used to use, like days of the week and calendar systems and time and all of this stuff. When you focus more on moments, circadian rhythm, your rhythm, universal rhythm, 369, going in between, and like when you really start changing your belief system and expanding, Jupiter is all about expanding. So Jupiter Day, expansion. We start expanding your mind from negative to positive and positive to negative. When you really start expanding this, you will no longer look at reality the same. And that is my goal in my science class. So when you guys join, my goal is to guarantee that when you leave, not only will you learn something new about yourself, you will also learn new things about reality, and you will never look at it the same. You will never look at it the same. You will look at it totally different. Because now you're going to be a lot more aware of what you say and how you say it. Not only that, you're going to know where you are at all moments.